Hello, everybody. Today we have the founders of Sun & Co visiting us here for a little interview, and I'm super excited because I myself have worked from many different co-working spaces, and especially the co-living part is that what I find really interesting. So I'm curious what you two have to say about it. Tell us a little bit how you came to the idea to set this up, how you met. Just tell us your story.
Okay. Well, first of all, well, my name is John.
Yeah, my name is Edu. We're both Spaniards, and we both come from a background in co-working spaces. John was host at the Melting Pot in Edinburgh, one of the oldest co-working spaces in the United Kingdom. And I used to work at Las Naves, which is Valencia's main co-working space, probably. And we met by chance in the Spain co-working conference last year.
Yes.
It was last year in April 2015. While I was presenting the project of Sun & Co, which we can explain later. We connected. We really like each other. So we thought that it would be cool, to join forces to push a little bit the project forward.
So yeah, and yeah. So when Edu was presenting the project, I was in the same room, and I was like, it can be amazing to work there. It has to be really cool. And I was like, something was going on in my mind, and then we had a conference dinner, and we just sit one in front of the other, and we start talking about it and talking about how can Sun & Co improve and blah blah blah. And suddenly, yes, I sent him an email telling him that I was interested, maybe somehow to take part of it, and I end up coming from Edinburgh, from the cold Edinburgh to the sunny Javea in Spain. So here we are.
It's actually funny because most of the conversation happened while we were having supper, while we were drinking, eating with other people. So it's actually true what people say about networking. That networking never happens in networking events. It always happens outside of that. That's true. That's our case.
Yeah, so true. I've experienced that too.
Yeah.
So how far ahead were you with the project when you two met? So you already had the concept in place.
Let me tell you a little bit about the place itself because it's a funny story. Well, my parent was my family originally. My father's family comes from Javea, and the building itself used to belong to my family. And was my grandmother's house. Okay, it's an historical building, huge, beautiful old house, but it was falling apart. My grandparents, they died years ago. It was empty, so we decided to renew the whole building, to renovate it, and to make it run as a hostel. And the building has been successfully running as a hostel for the last 3 years. So right now it's a business who's running and has an activity. But since I came from this co-working background and I really like the idea of doing a co-living and co-working space, also because I found the idea of the digital nomadism and remote working, all these new concepts. So we decided to change a little bit the business model and to transform it for 9 months of the year into a co-living residence or co-living community. So right now it has 2 activities during the summer, which are the most busy months of the year. It's still a hostel, and during the rest of the year it changes. The furniture changes a little bit, and we offer this co-living and co-working experience for people all around the world.
Awesome.
Yes. And so when we met each other, it was like, I think you did like the first you invited at the beginning few people to try and to test
Yes.
to test the place.
Yes.
That's when we met each other. But the Sun & Co space, it wasn't open yet. It was like, we met last May or April. It was running last summer as a hostel, and then in September, October, I came from Edinburgh in the middle of September, and then in October we launched the co-living and co-working model.
It was an idea. Back then it was an idea. I had a logo, and the main idea was there. The building was there, of course, but I hadn't started doing absolutely any marketing. So yeah, the idea was there, but we had to execute everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we bought t-shirts now.
Yeah, I noticed the shirts.
T-shirt, it's because it's real.
It's running.
When setting this up, what was your biggest challenge?
Well, the biggest challenge is probably that digital nomadism or location-independent working, or call it what you want, there are a lot of terms, is something really new. It's really new for the whole mass of people, I think. Like, there are actually a lot of people who potentially can do it, but they don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
To achieve this part of this idea that people can actually do it, that they believe that they don't have to be in Köln, or in Berlin, or in London, or in Oslo, wherever they want, wherever they are now, and they can actually come here. That it's a reality that we are offering is an infrastructure that makes that possible. That's, to us, the most complicated thing. In that presentation, I always show a picture of a guy with a laptop in the beach. Mm-hmm. And I ask the people if they like the picture, and everybody says, "Yeah, that's amazing. It's like, it's a dream. It's exactly what you want, like working in a beautiful place." But then I ask, "Is this realistic? Do you believe this is possible?" And everybody says, "No, that's not. It's silly." That's exactly what we offer, like a place where that's real and you can do it. And to change from this idea of dream to reality in the minds of the people, it's sometimes complicated. Although every day less and less.
Yeah, and so the picture with the guy sitting there with his laptop. I mean, we've all seen it. So my first thought would be, having lived that way. At the beach, you don't have internet. So what are the things that, or what's the infrastructure that you think is most important, and how do you make it happen?
I have to say two things. One, I saw in Javea once a guy working with his laptop on the beach. So it's sometimes it's real. And I approached him and I asked him, "Hey, how are you doing?" It was surprising for me to see you working on the beach. Well, no. He told me well, yeah, I came with my family on holidays. I'm just working on my computer just to have a break from my kids. So yeah, I'm just pretending to be working now. So that was one funny thing. Regarding the infrastructure, we got the space, we got the location, but one of the most important things is we got a space where people can come and stay together. Until now, I see people who travel and work, but normally it's said about loneliness, or people who travel and work, they sometimes need stay with people, with like-minded people. And one of the most important things that we provide is the social experience, that you come here, yeah, and you can live with Edu and me, both of us from Spain. We live in a town. We love doing local things. We love going to the market. We love going to our bar. We love doing things together, and that's one of the great things. And it's amazing actually, because for example, last week Kaisu from Finland, a girl from Finland, was living here, and it's amazing how with someone who has been living with you for a week, you can become friend, you can become business partner, you can become anything you want, and it's just 1 week, and it's so intense. and the experiences and the social experience in this case it's really powerful. So in my opinion, the most important thing we provide, apart the infrastructure and the physical space, is the social part of all of this, which is like the...
Yeah, we like to put it this way, like a desk and good internet and good weather, you can find that in a lot of places around the world. But what we offer is a social experience. Like, it's about the people. That's really, this is a meeting point, this is a community, this is a place where people feel good, and our job, our main job, is to make people feel that they are at home and that they are having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So let's ask this way. What is one of the most interesting stories that has happened in the last couple of months with people living there? And, just tell us the most interesting story.
For instance, he was one of our first co-livers or guests. He had been traveling all around the world. He was in Mexico, in Peru. He's originally from London, and he stayed to live in Spain because of the experience that he had. He's now living in Valencia, and we also helped him a little bit, settle down with something, because he was looking for information and so on. So things like that, like people. But they change their plans because it's such a flexibility that that digital nomads have, that they sometimes, because of coming here, they change their plans.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. As another example, we had a girl who came a few weeks ago, and it's amazing how you start discovering people from the first day that you don't know them until the last day that they leave. And you already know them and know all of the things they do, and it's really curious. And then she was a girl who looked like, I don't know, like she was coming here for a week, and finally we end up knowing that she has like an amazing motorbike. She's part of the Finnish Motorbike Girls Club, and she's been traveling around the world, every little place. And one of the great things, and for me also, I'm quite new in the town, and I wasn't expecting to be a place like this. Like, I'm talking about the surroundings and about the place, Javea beaches, and for example, Ben, he has been like traveling all around the world, and I understand him. But when we went like to a beach like it's near here, he said like, "Wow, like, this place is amazing. This is my top three of places that I've been in my life." And for us, was like quite shocking, because he has been traveling all year, all war around, and it's quite surprising also, like how people react to the place, and sometimes difficult to show, and just through a website or through your social media, exactly how can you feel here, and what kind of places can you see here.
Yeah.
So if you had to, or tell me your favorite place in what is Javier? Sorry, I'm not Spanish.
You pronounce perfectly. One of the most amazing experience I had here. I can say two things. One related to Javier, and the other one related to the people that came here. And the first one related to Javier, for me, we got like one of our friends here, because what we try to do is also have a local community. So not having just people, foreign people coming here and mixing just with foreigners. What we want is to create a group of people who are like either locals and foreigners, to provide that local experience that I was telling you before. And so one of these, our friends from here in Javier, he rent out kayaks, and so actually he saved all of his materials in our garage. And I went with him once, and there is like an amazing cave, amazing cave that you can only access by the sea. So it's like a 3 hours or you can reach in 1 hour and a half kayak trip, you reach like a big cave where you access from the sea. And for me, as I told you before that I haven't been here before in Javea, it was simply amazing, like really amazing. And this is one of the best things for me to do here. And in the personal, on the other hand, like personally and with all of this relationship with people, just few days ago when Kaisu, our last guest, like left our home, I shut the door and I came back in and I was just smiling because I was really feeling like how much I like what I do here and it's just saying goodbye to a friend or to someone who has been here living with you. But I think that's another thing that I find like really exciting from living here.
Yeah.
That place, the cave, and also the bar we used to go. That's also a great place. No, that's just joking. There are tons of places. We are surrounded by 2 natural parks, and usually every time we have a chance, we go there. We go to the beach. We go hiking. We go cycling. It's a great place to do a lot of activities.
And actually, Edu and me, we started surfing. So we took our first lesson like a few weeks ago, and we've done it 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And we are really really excited about it. And whenever we can, and as we are starting right now, we try to go in the morning. And actually, I feel like I don't know, it has something that you want to do it more and more. And it's curious because I wouldn't be, thought about it because in the Mediterranean, like it's not the open sea, so you will never imagine having waves, but actually they are. So yeah, we are learning.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm curious. How would you say the guests are different during the summer, and then so when it's in hostel and for the co-working? What's the main difference?
Well, the main difference is that we only accept people now who are remote workers. Right now, a couple of backpackers or a couple or a group of friends, they cannot do any reservation. Like it's absolutely 2 separate different activities. Right now, it's a co-living, co-working community and nothing else. And in summer we have all different kinds of people. We have backpackers, we have couples, families, we have sport teams, associations, all kinds of persons. But right now it's closed for that kind of people and just open for remote workers.
Yeah, the main reason is that the ground floor it's an open plan ground floor more or less,
Yeah.
so, and you don't want to have teenagers drinking because they are thinking on going out while you have a kids playing and making noise and someone else working with his laptop or her laptop. So right now, as everything is under one roof, you need to have like-minded people and people doing on the same way,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be possible.
As a hostel, we have a 50 bed capacity, and right now it's up to 20 people. We want to fill it like it's a big home.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, because when you are doing like the co-living stuff, you don't want to be crowded, and with so many 50 people is so many people. When they come just as a hostel to stay here, is different because they don't do so much life here. They go out, but when it's like in a co-living style, you need like people stay here, so you need your own space and you need to feel comfortable.
Yeah. And your experience with the people, how is it for you to have, well, those groups in the summer and then remote workers for the rest of the year? How's it different for you?
Well, the main difference is that remote workers stay longer than people in the summer, and the good thing about that is that during the winter you really get to know the people. You know them by name, you know their stories, you are actually friends with them. that's great. That's the best. It's probably the best. That our work, like I said before, is really getting in touch with people. Whereas in summer, you don't have that. You don't have that connection. You also have a connection because the hostel is not that big, and because personally we like to make it with like deal with our clients with a really close personal touch. But yeah, that's the main difference for me at least.
But you know, like this mix is quite interesting because both things, like having a hostel during summertime gives us more like a strong or more capacity to start with the co-living and do things properly and have all of the things we need to run the other part. So I don't know, it's something that give us like quite confidence.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest difference from Sun & Co to other co-living places in the world is that they actually own the place. This is our place, and that does mean two things. One, that we feel it like our own place, and second of all, that this is nothing ephemeral. This is not going anywhere. A lot of people now are renting a villa or setting up something in a hotel for some months of the year, and you don't know where that's going to go in the future or what's going to happen with that. You know, we are a permanent community, sort of a place you know that you can always go, and everything is under one roof. That's another big difference. The rooms, the co-working space, the kitchen, the dining rooms, all the common areas, everything is together. It's about 500 square meters big, and like we were talking before, it's different, like in other places where everything's just spread out, and you don't have this sensation of community.
Yeah, I definitely see that as an advantage too, that it's all under one roof, and yeah, it's interesting. What's your vision? Sorry?
No, at the same time I say, like, there is people for everything. Like, there might be people who want more privacy. Actually, there are people who wrote us telling that they prefer to rent out an apartment and come here and be part of it. Normally, what we offer, if Sun & Co is full of people, let's say 15, 20 people, we don't have a lot more space for external people to come and work here. But from the time being, it's also a possibility. But as I said, it's depending on people, like, the people. There might be people who prefer to have their own privacy. There might be people who prefer to live this community feeling stuff. And
so what's your vision for Sun & Co for the next 5 years, if you have one?
My personal vision is that it will be really full, really constantly full of people, and that the reality that now is starting to be that what we have now, which is starting to grow little by little, that will be our reality. That I truly think that people will spontaneously decide to come here to a place that maybe they have already been, and that they're coming back to a place that they feel like it's a home, or they're visiting friends. It's something like that feeling that you have when you do couch surfing, for instance, like that you're visiting someone who you don't actually know, but who know that it's nice, and you know somehow that you're going to have a great time because it's really nice people wanting to have fun with you. And at the same time, you're working, you're being productive, you're growing as a professional. That's a little bit what I think that we will achieve eventually with time.
And also, like, I think we will really love to have in 5 years' time, for example, people like they go back for Christmas to their own home. People that come back for Christmas to Sun & Co because they have been maybe one or twice, and they come back, and I would love to have to see people coming back, and just people that we already know and that we had like an amazing time with them coming back again. Like, and I think and all of this feeling of people coming back gives like an amazing like atmosphere to the atmosphere and vibe to the space. Like yeah, I would love once that this start working. I would love like my vision would be like seeing people coming back.
That's a perfect transition, because I would like to ask you to. So you have, you meet all these travelers, and you've been abroad as well. How's it for you to like? Do you still have the urge to travel, or what? So on your personal.
Yeah, obviously. I don't think I would be a digital nomad even if I could. I think some people right now are selling that as the ultimate lifestyle, and I personally think it's great for those people who want that. I love traveling, but I don't really need to be all the time abroad. Yeah, we travel a lot every now and then when we have an opportunity. When there are some spaces where there is no people, we are able to work remotely too. So maybe sometimes we also move. It's a nice combination, like being host and guests in different times. But yeah, obviously, yeah, we still like to travel a lot.
And at the same time, this is a great machine. Synnection is a great machine to make friends all around the world.
Yeah.
So we can travel to all of these people's places for free.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah. So you say you don't want to be a digital nomad. Why not?
I think being a digital nomad has a lot of advantages. Basically, a lot of new experiences. Basically, seeing a lot of new places, and it also has disadvantages. You're also missing an everyday life. Personally, I find my personality, I think, matches better with a balance between traveling as often as I can, but also don't missing the everyday life of my nephews, and going with some friends, and seeing how life goes day by day. I feel that I don't need to see the whole world it's just something I don't need. I'm not criticizing it. I think it's great. If I would criticize that people, I wouldn't like to have them here with us. But it's just something that I wouldn't like to do on a long-term basis.
How did you find out that it wasn't for you, or did you ever think about becoming a digital nomad or working remotely or anything like that?
Well, it also depends on what you call a digital nomad. I mean, how much time do you have to be able to be abroad to be considered digital nomad? Because I think a lot of people can be abroad for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, then come back, then be again 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. I don't know. I think to be a digital nomad actually means to be able to work remotely almost constantly. You know what I mean? I don't know.
My opinion is like I don't know what I'll do in the future. I don't have an idea. Right now we feel like a little bit not attached, but we want to be here, and this is where we are, and we can't take this building with us like as our laptop and move it to somewhere else. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know in my case in the future. I don't know yet. From now, it's I think I'll stay inside this building. Anyway, I'm from the north of Spain, so I'll be back for Christmas, and I'll be working from there for nearly a month. So we can call it also like working remotely.
Yeah.
And the good thing of being two people is that we always can, like if I go, he can stay. If I move, I stay. But at the beginning, for us, it's also important to be both of us here, to have more, because first of all, because we are starting and we want to spend time together, and secondly, because it's good for the atmosphere of the community.
Maybe before I wasn't able to explain my idea very clearly, but I was thinking about it. I think a digital nomad or a location independent worker can work in a place he likes to stay. In my personal situation, I'm happy where I am right now. I don't feel the need to go. I'm exactly where I want to be. So that's why perhaps I don't want to be anywhere else for now.
Yeah. And that's really, that's perfect. I mean, if you say, and again, I don't really, I don't want to tell anybody they have to become a digital nomad to be happy. Absolutely not. I really think I agree with you that, we all have our own way. And I love how you summarized it now, that you say, hey, I'm absolutely happy here. So that's why I'm here. And that's what we're looking for, really, isn't it? I mean, digital nomads, some of them might eventually decide, hey, I don't want to travel the world. I found a place, I want to stay there because I'm absolutely happy here. But at the same time, I like, if people are not happy where they are, why don't they change it? And that's really it. Yeah.
Another good thing of being here with Edu, it's we met, as I told you last May, and you never know how it's gonna be with your new workmate or with your new partner, and it's been like a really cool. We had a really good relationship. Actually, we feel like more friends than workmates. So that's something really cool that you also transmit to other people, and coming to a place where both of the founders are friends, and that's something really I find really cool, and for us it's really cool also. Yeah.
Would you have any advice for people who are looking for a partner for their business? What can they do?
I got my personal opinion always, because actually I had a business idea in my mind and in the past, but because I think that there are so many people who has very good ideas, but sometimes as in my case, I need to have to be with someone else to push me and me to push him or her. So and sometimes it's the most difficult thing, because you don't need to set up a web company. It's not about a designer and a programmer. It's a lot more about it. It's not just about the skills. It's more about the culture, the working culture, and all of the values that you have. And I think that's the difficult thing, to find someone who you work with properly and great, and also that you have the same values and the same working culture. So for me, and it's curious, because if you want to set up a business, a professional business, sometimes you need to find a partner which you have more personal things in common rather than professional things. So it's interesting how this personal side of people, it's very important when you want to do something professional.
I think my advice would be that having a partner is not like getting married. I mean, most people tend to think that it's something that it's going to be forever. Yeah. Personally, but no, I think that it's also a relationship that evolves, and that what's really important is that the project works, and maybe that means that at some point one of the partners goes out, or you go out, someone else comes in. That it's an evolving situation, and the people involved in that project don't have to take it personally, in the sense that I think we tend to be very the protagonists of that stories, and I think the project is what matters, and that it can change a lot between the partners, and it's okay if they go out, get in, and so on.
But I have to say that our girlfriends are quite jealous. I more time with Edu than with my girlfriend.
Yeah, it's hard, but
Actually, we live together, so imagine.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that can be trouble. Are your girlfriends in the same town or are they somewhere else?
No, they're somewhere else. They're somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Oh,
For
wow.
now.
That, yeah, I can see how they can be jealous. Yeah. Yeah, you don't get married. I think your girlfriends won't like that.
A lot of things are coming out of it. And if you didn't told us it was going to be this way.
Yeah. No, I like how you phrased it. It's not a marriage, and things evolve, and yeah, it's the project. Yeah, how about the initial, or not the initial, the signature question that I always ask my guests, and maybe you just, one answers and then the other one answers. What would you tell your high school self if you could travel back in time?
I can start if you want. I improvise. One of the most important things that I feel right now is like I feel very spontaneous, and we talked about that before, and I think people like spontaneous people, and also I know that I'm very spontaneous at this moment because I'm quite happy and I'm doing what I want to do and where I'm doing it where I want to do it. So, and that's something that not a lot of people can say, and I feel really lucky about it, and I feel really happy. And at the same time, I feel really spontaneous. In the past, I think I sometimes I try to be someone that I wasn't, and trying to show to others that you are that you know more than you know, or that you are better, or that you know that you are I don't know, more important than you are. I don't know. You try to show, not to show off, but to pretend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that things that doesn't work this way. So I'm actually the more spontaneous you are, the more you like to others, and the more connections you do, even professional or personal. And so that would be my recommendation to myself in the past, like to be more spontaneous and to be just yourself.
Mm-hmm.
My advice would be not to get married. No. I think it's a cliche, but probably not to be afraid of trying things, of failing. Like I started with the whole hostel idea basically because the circumstances were very good to do it. The house was there, it was falling apart, we had to do something about it. I studied architecture, so my field of studies were related to that, but it was more or less chance. Like, it wasn't that I had really, like an entrepreneurship attitude or something like that. It was easy, so to say, and I'm really happy and I'm really glad that circumstances happened to me, because it was the little the little push I needed to do things, and since then it was one thing after the other and trying new things, and some of them fails, other work, and I know it's going to be like that now forever. So yeah, my advice would be like this first step, which I think is the most difficult one, just do it, because nothing bad can actually get out of that. The worst thing you can do is, yeah, you can lose some money. So what? Like, if you are fortunate enough to be able to lose some money and be able to to eat after that, then it's fine.
Yeah. Spoken like a true entrepreneur.
Notice the glasses.
Yeah, I love both of them. I love the spontaneous part. And for you, do you So, saying, okay, be more spontaneous. How do you feel about setting goals or having goals in your life? So just, how do you go about planning your life, what you want to do?
Personally,
Yeah.
I'm quite good at. I am quite bad. Sorry, at planning. But sometimes unconsciously you maybe like think about yourself in a year, and unconsciously you start doing things by yourself, not realizing that you want to reach that point, but you start doing things in your personal life, also professional life. And I was quite lucky because sometimes your brain is working inside yourself, and you reach sometimes all of these goals you set up in the past. Yeah.
No. What do you want to know exactly? Because I'm not sure.
No, that was just me being curious because people say to be successful you have to set goals, but then if you say be spontaneous, like how do you?
Okay, you do.
Okay. I have a personal opinion about success.
Yes.
Because in the world of in the business world, you tend to differentiate between success and failure in terms of money or of clients or whatever. And what we actually long for, or personally, what we long for here in San & Co and also personally, is quality of life. That's my idea of success.
Mm-hmm.
So that's perhaps the idea I would like to transmit. Like what we want is to be happy, to have a life we like, and also to feel like that's at least personally important to me, to feel that I'm doing something good for other people. It doesn't have to be ideologically super complicated or anything, but feeling that what you're doing is nice, that's probably one of the most important things.
Yeah. Super important. I agree.
Mm.
Yeah, wonderful. How can people find you? I mean, obviously they should all come stay with you if they are digital nomads, but how can they reach you? What's the best way to contact you? And obviously I will link to all of that.
Yeah.
When I
Well,
post
online channels everywhere. There are tons. Well, mainly our website. They can contact us through any social network available in the world, and also there are a lot of Facebook communities, Slack channels, all kind of digital channels in which we are present, and they will find us very easily. But mainly our website, which is sanandco.com, and they can write to us directly because our email addresses and our Skype addresses are public, so they can just call us or write us an email.
Something that we really try to do in our communication is to be really personal. Like well, we were talking a lot about the social experience here, and what we try to do is like, yes, if you write me, I answer you, and I'll be me, answer you really personally and one to one. Like, yes, that's how we are trying to do.
Yeah, it's easy. They will find us.
Yeah, and I can vouch because it was so cool to just be able to send you a message and you respond and getting into this conversation and setting up this interview. So I really appreciate your time. It was so interesting to get a look behind the scenes of a co-working, co-living place. And thank you for your time.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Hope
you.
to see you soon.
Yes, you too. And to our listeners, viewers, go visit the website, go check it out, go visit the two over there in Spain. You can already see the kitchen back there in the reflection. I love that part. And go check it out. And if you want to join the revolution, go check out Synnection. All the communication is happening over there. Thank you for listening.